what I was telling them, Moses, is that us young men, like when we're growing up and stuff, Moses, we know for a fact that like when we become successful, it's not only, especially if you want a family, it's not only going to be for us, Moses. It's more so going to be for our family and our woman and our kids more so than it is going to be for us. Woman, Moses, do you think women are like when they're growing up that they have people telling them that like, yo, when you become successful, when you do well, that you know you're gonna be taking care of a man, and you're gonna be like solely responsible for providing and protect. What's your thoughts on that, Moses?
Well, I definitely think men and women are typically reared differently. Uh,
Right,
I think when it comes to provision and protection, which are traditionally male roles,
right.
um, women are often taught.
Thanks for the rose, Bella.
Well, men are taught how to treat women. Women are taught how to be treated by men. But um,
Facts.
I'm not so sure that I think it's wise that we do socialize women to provide and protect. I think the crossover, or I think the crossover in roles is detrimental. Uh, Both people can't be providers and protectors. Both people can't be nurturers and submissives. So I think it makes more sense that they are reared that way. But I think where we miss the mark is how our women are raised.
Well,
Um,
every woman's not going to be a wife, though, Moses. And they
well, I think
still have to provide and protect.
I think that's part of the problem. We don't raise women to be wives because every woman should be a wife, and the reason I say that is because protection is paramount in a woman's life. We civilize the world so much that women are under the impression that they can live without men, but there is a point in time, set aside procreation, there's a point in time where women will typically need protection and help, even with provision. um I understand that most women, a woman's not going to be raised, and I'm not saying that a woman shouldn't, in this particular day and age we occupy, shouldn't work. But in all honesty, if you were to ask me if women wanted more financially, you would end up you would overnight women could change the swagger of men, that they're to what they're attracted to. They could change their ability to be attracted to him for his means. If just think about it, and I always give this scenario: if every woman quit their job today, what would happen?
Pandemonium.
I don't think so. I think men would quail, panic, and we would pick up the slack on the jobs that you all left behind. Instantly, we would become more financially solvent. You all would be instantly attracted to us because now men are higher earners, and you all would fall immediately into your role of provision because without us, you don't survive.
Or will we need to? Will we be attracted to you because we had no choice now? Because we need you.
You said what?
Like, will we be attracted to you because it was attractive, or with some women, because there are women now who only see a man for what he can provide, will they
Well,
be
that's
attracted to the need?
well, that's every woman. Women are attracted to men for provision for a reason. That's a biological necessity for them. So that their attraction is rooted in provision because they are the weaker of the two vessels. It makes sense for them to be attracted to us for that. And if that's the case, if every woman, like I often hear that, we hear that phrase, you want, you talking about like the 50s, you want women barefoot pregnant in the kitchen. Well, first of all, I'm not so sure why she's barefoot. Um, pregnant, that happens.
Get a bitch house shoes.
Yeah, I mean, however many times you happen to be pregnant in your life is minimal in comparison to how long you typically live your life. Um, and in the kitchen, yeah, what man doesn't want a woman that can cook? So I think all of those things that they're saying are kind of almost like a duh moment. Like, of course that's what we want. And in all honesty, I think that's what women would want also. And the reason I'm saying that is because I'm not hearing women that rant and rave about occupations. I hear them rant and rave about the paychecks they bring home. And that's only typically if they're high earners. Otherwise, they get to around their childbearing years either in the middle or later on, like, towards the end, that's what, mid-30s, and they
Yeah.
start to express how much they disdain their occupations. Not to mention, most of them, by when you look at it statistically, they happen to leave their occupation around that time because of childbearing. So I think they would be more comfortable at home. I think women often lobby and push for cush jobs that would give them the independence that they need relative to finance, but then they're still not covered, so they end up being miserable. You see it all the time. The April Masons or the Stormy Daniels of the world, they have this money in these jobs, but they typically express in some point in their dating coach or life coach careers that I given up on the independent woman mantra and I'm looking for a man, or it won't come out necessarily as a mistake, because if they say it that way, then they're going to lose their platform. But it will come out as a regret, like, damn it, I should have probably, maybe, sought after and been something they want me to be, or that we desire, such that I could actually function with one and not have to do all of this myself. You know, because at the end of the day, women don't assume the role of provision. So even when they have the money, a lot of times they still don't like spending their own. This is why women,
Right.
regardless of their income,
He's speaking facts.
right?
Oh my God.
This is why women, regardless of their income, still look for men that earn at least the same, or if not higher. It's because
Thank
they don't,
you. Oh
they
my
don't
God.
spend their,
But
and that's not,
He's saying the same things that I be saying.
yeah,
Go ahead, Moses. I'm sorry.
they're not reared to assume the role of provider, which is fine. But this is also why they also shouldn't be thrust into that position. And a lot of times it's self-inflicted. Men didn't create the feminist movement. That was a female initiated and led movement. But it gave women for a certain period of time slight satisfaction. But then after complete turmoil. If you look at it from a happiness standpoint, it's on record that women, as they age, they're getting less and less happy, and they're accruing more and more burden. Meanwhile, men are getting more and more happy. But I debate whether men are getting more happy. Thought culture and this hookup culture is not what men want. So what they mean when they say men are getting more and more happy is they can have consequenceless sex and they don't have to provide. But I don't think that really makes men happy, because I've seen men that have been with women, not necessarily married legally, but been with women, and they're much more happy to me than a man that's single, playing this dating game. Men don't necessarily like that. Men, we go out for women. I know women don't like to say that, but the reason men go out is because we're in search of one. Whatever. But that's just up to your preference. But we don't exactly get. And then when we get one, we prefer to stay in the house. We our money, not necessarily for recreation, but more so for provision. We want to be at home providing for a woman and be appreciated for it. That's literally where men and women want to be. But ever since women started working, it's pretty much put a hole in what the roles are respectively between male and female. I'm sorry.
can I say,
No.
um,
And one second about it. And Moses, like, bro, you're
Yeah.
right, bro. Yeah, like men are more happy. Like Moses said, they don't even have to be legally married. Even if he just has a woman that, like, he rocks with super tough, like, because, like, Moses, bro, that whole dating around, that's you feel empty when you're doing that, bro. Even
Yeah.
when even when you engage in physical intimacy with a woman, you feel empty after, bro. It's just
Right.
a bunch of empty feelings.
Right.
Moses is 100% right. A man is more happy when he feels like he has a woman that he actually likes and is, like,
Yeah.
with.
After a while, conquering vagina is no longer is real. I'm not even sure it was to begin with. We just kind of did it because we received some sort of sexual pleasure at the end of the day. But you ask any man, if he could have sex with a woman that he's in love with, that he trusts, which means that he could probably, and I'm going to be kind of graphic here for a second. Let's say she's on birth control. That means that he could shoot up the club. You know what I'm saying? And he feels not feeling like he's gonna bring home any, or he's gonna accrue an STD or anything like that. Men don't feel safe when they're having sex with random women or hookup culture. We feel insecure. Feel like, shit, is gonna pop pregnant? Am I about to make somebody a baby mama, making me a baby daddy? Or
Right.
did I just catch something? That's not a comfortable feeling to have. Men beat their chest about it because they're trying to conceptualize and trying to put on a persona world that the fun and the accomplishment is in the the conquering of it all. But it's
Right.
not true. Men would rather have families. We were set up to be together, not to treat
Right.
each other as utilities.
So, what is the barrier in finding the women that you can shoot up? What do you all find as the barrier here?
Um, we have a few barriers. I think the first barrier is simple. Um, if you think about it, the society we live in has essentially criminalized intercourse or criminalized male and female interactions. You think about it, like if a man has sex with a woman and he does shoot this club up, right? She gets pregnant. First of all, his decisions relative to whether they're going to have that child are revoked after conception because what can he do? He has no decision making process at that point. It's all up to her.
Right. Right.
And I'm not believe abortion because I don't. But one of the reasons it exists is because somebody has to make a decision as to whether they want to start a family or not. And because the woman biologically is the one that births the child, then of course it's going to be her. But I think legally we have to stop we'd have to change drastically, and this will never happen in society. It's created such that we'll be in conflict because a nuclear family was intended to be destroyed in the society we live in. But we'd have to change laws. Women shouldn't be rewarded for single motherhood. That would be the first thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's one barrier. A second barrier would be men lying. You know what I'm saying? Men often don't tell the truth about what they really want. Now, we've been socialized by women to lie because we've been told before, if you told me the truth, everything would have been okay, even though we know that's not the case. Because when we do,
Exactly.
it happens. But I think it would make more sense if men still stood on some type of integrity. Like, I can't stand being around a dude that lies to his woman. And I can't stand it because it makes me feel like, bro, you kind of soft, actually. You're scared of a female. That bothers me. You know what I'm saying? It kind of irks me. And not only that, but I also take into consideration what you're doing to her. You could be telling her the truth. Not saying that she can handle it, but I'm sure anybody would rather be told the truth than lied to. Another thing would be the trust factor. There's too many exterior factors that go on in society that stop or disable women from being able to focus on their relationship and their relationship only. A lot of times, social
Word.
media is a huge problem. Like most men, if you ask them, they would prefer that they found a woman that was not on social media. I had one. I broke up with her some years ago, but it was the best feeling ever because I never had to think about what she's doing on there. You know what I'm saying? I never had that feeling like she was engaging in hookup culture. The trust factor didn't start out severed to begin with. That's a reassuring feeling. When men feel that way, automatically, the scripture said the Lord is a man of war. When you start any battle, I don't care if it's emotional, men are gonna bite back. And ours is gonna be hard. We're gonna do the same thing women do, which is find that thing that hurts you and that's what men and women do when they feel attacked. But you feel attacked typically because you put yourself in a position that you don't trust a person, and the person has not given you any reason to trust them. I'm a firm believer in whenever you want to be in a relationship with somebody that you love and that loves you, you make accommodations for the things that they want as long as it doesn't sacrifice your morals, ethics, and values. The goal is to continue to get more and more attractive to one another, not less and less attractive. So I think those are some of the barriers. I also think that, we already talked about STDs. I think that's a big barrier too. People have a fear of that. A lot of that can be deterred by simply going and getting tested before you become sexually active with somebody. But because we live in a hookup culture, people don't practice as much patience. A lot of that with the fact that men are tantalized with sexual images throughout their entire life. Okay, like we come out the womb, you can't find a candle, a bottle of lotion or deodorant that's not sold with a pair of breasts, an ass, a vagina, or some thighs. It's everywhere, right? And then women continue to dress like this, even in our social environments. So we're just continually, but then we're also denied release. So this is why 30% of men are starting to experience, ED, erectile dysfunction, by the time they're 40. So you're literally, because of your presentation, are are literally attacking the population. Men are, because as we know, in order to procreate, arousal is necessary. You have to be aroused to do that. Well, if a man is not able to get aroused because all he's seen is sexual images, there is a such thing as flooding the market, right? What happens when you flood the market? You lower the value of the product, right?
Right.
Women are, here's another one. Budget. Men actually have to budget women into their lives now. That's a problem. You know what I'm saying? The institution of marriage is so costly and expensive. Men are just backing away. We're not doing that because we're childish or we're scared of commitment. Men commit more than women do. Think about the commitment we make to occupation every day. Think about the commitment we make to protection when we're in any given environment. We commit way more than women do. But all of these things, I think, are factors as to why we may not have the best shot at being, together with one another. So I think the solution to that would possibly be, first of all, when you find somebody, agree to get rid of a few things. Number one, the people that you're, quote, talking to. Like this thing about, well, I'm dating. As soon as I hear a woman tell me she's dating, I'm done. Because that means that you're juggling people right now, right? You're spreading
Right.
yourself, kind of like not enough butter scraped over too much bread. You're everywhere. This I don't put all my eggs in one basket attitude relative to relationships is absolutely whimsical and foolish. You should put every one of your eggs into a basket. You always run the risk of getting hurt. That's always going to be there. But to not put all your eggs in one basket means that you're increasing the likelihood that you'll never get to a full, substantial, healthy relationship. So that's one thing we got to do. We got to stop approaching. And then we have to stop approaching these relationships as though we don't owe our partner anything. I don't owe a man anything. I don't owe a woman anything. No, yes, the fuck you do. If you want a healthy relationship, you do owe her something. You owe her your time, your attention, your affection, your provision, your protection, all of those things. Yes, you do owe him something. You owe him your submission. You owe him your nurturing, your loving, kind, and wonderful smile. You owe him all of these. Of course you do. And if we don't owe each other anything, think about it. Have you ever been in a relationship of which you felt like you didn't owe somebody anything? What incentive did you have to stick around? You didn't.
That's what I was about to say. What's the incentive to stick around then?
There's no reason to stay there because you don't feel like you owe anything and you don't feel like the person that you're with owes you anything. That's not really gonna yield happiness, overall. It might work in the short term for a second or two. I don't owe you nothing.
We should be bringing value to each other.
Right. All right.
Right.
Well, or we could sit here and we could start out from a place of war to begin with. I think that's a bad idea. This is one other reason why I don't agree with dating. Stop going on dates. I think dating is ridiculous. It sets up a paradigm in which a man has to show his traditional values, i.e. protection, and if something should so happen on the first date, i.e. provision, and if something should so happen on the first date, protection. But is obligated to do nothing. So the things that he's yielding to her, she has the opportunity to take advantage of. And let's be quite frank, most of the times, women are not giving it up on the first date. So a man is already starting out from a place of resentment. You took something from me and you didn't give me anything back. We're back right back to that whole I don't owe you anything thing. All right, cool. So what does the man do? He might take something date 2, 3, 4, whatever, and when he hits, what's he do? I'm gone. I'm not fucking with you no more because I already got what I wanted out of you because you already showed me that you didn't owe me anything else. You built up resentment. You upset me to begin with because that shit hurts. It's not just about the money. It's about the principle of it all. I was in a relationship with one woman and I told her, I said, man, let's watch. You like, what's your favorite TV show? All right. She said The Walking Dead. All right, cool. I wanted to watch Californication. All right, cool. So how we going to do this? We going to watch one episode, alternating? We're going to watch one season alternating, or we're going to watch one entire show alternating? She said, let's just watch one entire show. All right, cool. So which one we going to start with? She said The Walking Dead. That's what she wanted to watch. I fucking hate zombies, but you my baby. I'm going to go that with you, know what I'm saying? And we made another pact. Hey, look, let's turn the phones off. Let's act like we're engaged. Let's actually get engaged into the team. So I managed to do that. Hate zombies, but by season 2, I was actually engaged. All right, cool. It ain't that bad. And it's just a TV show at the end of the day. What are you really losing, right? Got through the entire TV show. It was time to watch Californication. What does she do? Starts picking up the phone, starts saying that she didn't want to watch it, starts saying I'm not interested because A, B, and C. At that point, you slighted me. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like you're here for me. You acted like you don't owe me anything while I acted like I do owe you something. I showed love. I showed caring for whatever it is that you wanted, and you didn't reciprocate. So over time, what happens? Start to diminish. You start to care less. You know what I'm saying? Hey, can you pick me up this or whatever? Can you be thoughtful about it? What the fuck I'm gonna be thoughtful for? You're not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is where we're gonna be. So I don't know. I'm sorry for being long-winded on your
No,
platform.
no, bro, you're good. Moses, let me ask you this though,
Mhm.
because I listen. The whole I see. I agree with you like 95% on the whole dating thing as far as like not perpetually dating people. But
Mhm.
Moses, let me
Mhm.
ask you this.
Mhm.
Even I don't know. I'm 25. I'm single. I don't know if you're single. But
Okay.
Moses, for man or woman today,
Mhm.
when even if someone is doing the whole dating thing, Moses, like
Mhm.
like Moses, if a woman was to meet you today, if a woman was to meet you today at the grocery store, she thought you were attractive, all that, and you know y'all exchange contacts, and you know y'all get on the phone like tonight or something. Do you think after that first phone call tonight, though, Moses, that if she felt the phone call went well, that she should just hone in on you 100%, Moses, or should she how far into getting to know Moses how long into getting to know Moses do you think before it should be before she says, you know what, I'm gonna solely focus on Moses, because like Moses, for like a job interview, right? If I'm
Mhm.
looking for a job,
Mhm.
I could only apply to one place, but I'm not guaranteed to get the job. I could do the phone interview. I could go do the in-person interview. And then shoot, let's say I get past the first round. Let's say it's 2 rounds. I go do the final interview. I don't get the job, but I was only focusing on that one job. I was only focusing on that one apartment, only on that one home. I got outbid. I wasn't approved for the application. So now, Moses, I'm kind of losing out on maybe other opportunities that I would have had because I was honing in all on. I'm just playing devil's advocate, Moses. What do you have to say to that?
Well, number one, I think it's dangerous if we look at jobs the same way we look at people. Your feelings aren't hurt if you don't get that job. You just realize, damn, I didn't get a job. I need to put in another application.
Uh-huh.
But a woman, we always hear that saying, well, your loss. No, it's bullshit. It's your loss as well, if you understand what I mean. When a
Yeah.
person says, I missed out on that opportunity with somebody, but it's their loss. No, it's your loss as well because you wanted that person, right?
Right.
Whereas a job, you might want this job, but if this job doesn't hire you and this job is paying the same, you equally want this job as much.
Right.
So I think I think as soon as you meet somebody that you have a connection with, I think that's the moment that you need to cut everything else off. Okay, and like you said, that could happen in day one, day one. I'm not saying that you can't meet people. Getting number, understand when we say talking to people or dating, we mean that literally, right? Like if I'm on,
Yeah.
if I'm talking to a woman, let's say one night let's say I met her today, right? And I got her
Yeah.
number, and then we stayed on the phone for a couple hours, right? That's
Yeah.
like a long time to stay on the
Yeah.
phone.
For sure.
That's
Yeah.
that's some cake in eighth grade type shit, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's it's time to get rid of the others. You are clearly attracted to this woman. She's clearly attracted to you. Stop playing with these other females. The same thing for the woman. After you feel that connection with that dude and you stayed on the phone that long, then now it's time to get rid of all these other dudes and give yourself a shot. Why are you continuing to entertain somebody else? Number one, you clearly don't feel that great about those other people, right? If you're entertaining these people, but you haven't gotten to a point to where you're spending many hours on the phone with this person, or you're going out on multiple dates and you're starting to feel something in your nether regions about them, you're not attracted to them. We need to stop lying to ourselves. Stop keeping people on standby just as something
Right.
to entertain you when you don't have the thing that you really want. Stop doing that.
Woo.
Bothering people, it first of all
Woo.
damages the people that you're keeping there. All right, it damages the people that you're keeping there, but also it's because you're not putting your all into one thing in order to in order to get any type of real true happiness. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's always necessary. I mean, yeah, look, go out, fine. You meet people. Hey, how you doing? Get your number. Okay, and then you meet somebody else. How you doing? Get your number. Right? And it starts almost because as soon as I leave that establishment, you know what I'm looking for? The first woman to text me. I didn't get anybody's number that I'm not attracted to. So the first one
Right.
that shows, that's the one I'm interested in. Why? Because she's interested in me just as much, and I know that because she's starting to prove it already. So engage with that woman, and then leave all them other women behind. They're all right. They're not going anywhere. You don't have to
Right.
tell them. You don't have to explain anything. And here's the crazy part about it: people don't understand that you can pick that up whenever you want to. So let's say you and that woman don't work out. All right, now give her a call out of the blue. Hit them with that same thing they hit us with. Hey, stranger, right? And
But Moses, let me ask you this, bro.
mm-hmm.
Because do you think, but in Moses, you were listen, I 100% agree with everything you said, Moses, but because we are human beings, we do have real feelings, we do have real emotions. Some of us, some people say they've been heartbroken. Some of us, some people say they've been played. Some people always say, like Moses, people say, like, bro, when you first meet someone and you're starting to get to know them, they say that that person is in their representative mode, Moses. That's what they say. They say they're in their like actor. They say they're in their actor phase. They
Right.
said you need to really like see them in a certain light, see them in certain situations, possibly get into even certain disagreements or arguments with them before you even really know who the real person that you're talking to is. So
Right.
to that you say what, Moses? I'm just playing devil's advocate, bro. To that you
Um,
say what?
I think it's natural that we, when people say that you meet their representative, what they're saying is the best way that you can know somebody is to live with them, and that's not the person you ever see when somebody leaves the house. You never show a person who you really are when you're at the house by yourself, because who you are at your house when you're by yourself is the most free and liberated person that you are to you, right?
You're not the same at work. You're not the same at school.
Right.
Like, right,
Right, right, right. If you curse like a sailor at home, you're not doing that at your occupation. You're typically
right.
not. You go to a social environment because you don't want to put that foot forward. So that's typically what they mean. I understand it, and I think it's a safety mechanism. Most people do it as a defense mechanism. I want to make sure that I keep a little bit of this guard up so people don't know who I really am. That way, I don't get hurt.
Right.
Um,
Exactly.
but I think when you meet somebody that you're interested in, to the best of your abilities, you need to try to drop that immediately. And the reason you
Hmm.
need to do that is because that representative is no longer representative of who you actually are and who you want to be with this person. You really want to be the open person. You want to be the um the receptive person at this point. So I don't know. I mean, I don't do it. I have a tendency to be me most of the time. I think on unorthodox in this regard, but I typically don't show people my representative. I typically show people who I am straight out the gate. A lot of times that scares people off, but I'd rather show you that so I know exactly where you stand with me because you're either gonna like this person or you're gonna hate them. You know what I'm saying? In all,
But Moses, when, and be honest, bro, how old were you how old were you when you felt like you really adapted the mindset that you have right now, Moses? When you were 25, when you were 21, when you know, because we've all had women hurt our feelings before, right? And to the woman in here, you've all had men hurt your feelings as well. But like, if to the people in here that have the mindset that Moses has, because I'll be honest with you guys, I don't have that mindset right now. But do I agree that that's the right mindset to have? Yes, but you know, I am one of them people that like, you know, I think a lot of people ain't don't got I think more people than not don't have that type of mindset that Moses had because like I said, they have their guard up, Moses. They've been hurt before. They don't want to experience the same thing again. So like how old were you and be how old were you when how long do you feel you've really had the mindset that you have right now?
I'm not, like I said, I'm very unorthodox. So this happened to me when I was in the earliest I can remember was literally kindergarten. I was the kid that rather have sat at the table by myself. I wasn't, and I'm not saying that I didn't play well with others. You know what I'm saying? As
Yeah,
you can still don't. But I was always a compassionate and loving person, but I never wanted my circle to be large, and it was never important for me to be accepted by the in crowd. So for me personally, I was never that type of guy. I never, wanted to seek out, everybody else's company to be accepted, so on and so forth. I was always that person. A lot of people, it doesn't hit them that soon. A lot of people, they have a tendency to gravitate towards what may be cool, and then they start to realize, okay, what may be cool to other people ain't necessarily cool to me. This is why I
right,
kind of respect that anime community a lot. One thing about anime community and the gamers of the world is they don't give a shit about anybody and how they think. But at
right,
the same time, if you actually sit down and actually talk to some of these people, they're not totally obsessed as much as you think they are with something, about as much as obsessed as anybody is with anything else in their life. Um, and they're actually compassionate people. They're actually cool people. So, I mean, for me, it's been, almost out of the womb type of thing. I'm not gonna lie to you. Not gonna
okay,
very serious about that. And that's helped me. Like I said, it's helped me build that callus to weed people out that I don't need in my life and keep people around that I do. That are beneficial to me, and it's helped me to see people very quickly for who they really are. When you're yourself, when you're your true self around people, when you don't care, and I'm not saying, no, wait, hold on, let me say it this way. I'm not insisting that, I'm not insinuating that people don't care what people think. I think that's another detrimental thing that we do. No,
Mm-hmm.
you should be caring what people think. This is the reason that if we walk around and everybody doesn't care what somebody else thinks, you're gonna have a world full of angry people or people that want to recluse themselves from everybody else. I don't want to be around you because they don't care about what I think. You don't want to be around me because I'm. Where are we gonna get like that? No, I think you should care about what people think, and I think that whatever you do should be rooted in righteousness, such that those people that don't care about what you think will actually see you as the person that's trying to be the person that's showing them that it does matter to them how you feel. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a necessary thing. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's tough to be compassionate.
Moses,
Yes,
can I ask you a question? Can I backtrack a little?
sure.
Back to the original, like, because I just got blown past, but I really need your input on this. So, when it comes to speaking on women not particularly wanting to work,
Mm-hmm.
and so there are some women that occupy spaces that give them more than a paycheck. So like Sergi's a social worker. Like I feed homeless and do all of these things like passion projects. And so those are jobs where you're getting more than a paycheck and actually your paycheck is a lot less. So like you have to have a love to do it because you're not making like you're not gonna be rich. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that every woman, okay, I have to work because nobody else is going to take care of me. But at the same time, if someone was willing to take care of me, I would still want my job because it gives me something other than a paycheck. It gives me a fulfillment to where when I'm in the home and I'm interacting with my family, I'm whole because I have something that that's productive.
Now let me ask you a question. Would you be getting that very same feeling if you were that helpmate to your husband and you were that mother to children? Or let me not ask you that way. Let me ask you a different way. Which feeling would be more gratifying? Would it be that for your husband and your family, or would it be doing it for a nameless person that you don't know, that of which owns the corporation you work for?
Well, see, that there is no corporation in that, which is the only reason that I'm okay with it. I don't believe that people should slave to make others rich, but I do believe that people should contribute to the world and to the least of society in some way.
Okay. What's the biggest contribution a woman can make to society?
What, children?
Arguably so, but I don't. I mean, I don't think it stops there. I think also that uh, effective and think that and wives. I think those are the biggest contributions they can make to society. Not just society, but I think that's the biggest contribution they can make to themselves. Largest contribution they can make to men. Behind secondary. You're the reason women have found solitude and peace and comfort in working is because they've been forced to. Naturally, over time, I called it kind of the 8 Mile effect. Right? Like, if you saw the movie 8 Mile, essentially what Eminem did at the end of the movie to win this rap battle was found a place in a home inside of everything they would have used to insult him. Right? So
Mm-hmm,
after he found that home, he was forced to feel that though, right? But
mm-hmm.
not been himself, would he not been in a better place if he came from a loving. I think so.
But I think even before women were being paid to do that, they were still doing it, right? So when there was a nuclear black family in
Doing
that
what?
space, even when they weren't working, they were still giving back and providing and assisting with whatever mission was important to the black community as a whole, right?
My fucking tripod.
So
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you're talking about a time period of which families were successful. Yeah, women were more so wives and mothers than they were working class. Yeah, before 19, you all received the right to work. Before, especially the black family. The black family thrived in that time period. Right. Then black financial and social disenfranchisement came. You know, resistance and feminism came, and it ruined all that. So yeah, they were, and arguably speaking, those black women were happier. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have grandparents, I didn't have grandmothers that were talking about how miserable they were. I
well,
wasn't
because they didn't have time to complain. Like nobody complained. They didn't have time for feelings.
right,
Like
and
it's what to do.
that's one reason why our relationships kind of suck right now is because we are equipped with the luxury of time. Like I said, we've civilized the world so much in that 100-year period that now you have to play, have time to
Yeah.
be.
I guess basically my question is, do you believe
Mhm.
that number one, that a woman can be both a successful wife and mother and contribute to the world? And number two, do you believe that if she needs that to be happy, that that is something that should be looked into?
Well, one, I believe that she needs that to be happy. I think that she tells herself that because of the society that we live in. And the reason I don't believe that is because, as we just mentioned, 100 years ago, she didn't need that to be happy, and she was happier than the woman today. Do I believe that she can be a great mother, great wife, and contribute to the world? Well, because I said the greatest contribution is her being a great mother and great wife, then yeah, absolutely. But I don't think that the best contribution she can make is outside of her home. I feel like the best contribution anybody can make is inside. Women, I'm sorry, not anybody, but women. I feel like that's the best contribution they can make is inside of the home.
Well, no, I believe you're right that you cannot change the world or your community if your family is in shambles. Like you got to fix your shit first and produce quality people to join. Um,
And that's understand when you say that, that's a lifelong commitment. You understand? Like, in order
mhm,
to back to where we were, we have to have at least two generations do that. At
mhm.
least, you know what I'm saying? If you want to change the site, this is why, and I'm trying not to, let me make sure I pick my words very carefully when I say this. This is why the Rainbow Coalition, so to speak, is coming after children. Is because they minds of adults in their 40s. They can't sway the minds of adults in their 30s. 20-year-olds are a little bit more malleable, but the children, the very young children, this is why they're starting in places like Disney. Because if I can change them, then the next generation that comes behind them, 1 and 2 generations behind them, they're going to be exactly like what they're actually, lobbying for right now. You know what I'm saying? It's the same reason that they don't recruit men to go to the military that are in their 20s and 30s. Men hit their prime generally around that 20. Well, I mean, depending on the life expectancy of your family and how long your lineage is. My family, we live to be 90 and 100 years old, so I'm probably gonna hit my prime of my life. Actually, I'm literally like in it now. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of in it actually. Like I think I'm more clear in this time period. I drink less. I do less detrimental things to my body, and I'm stronger than I was in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? I might not be as agile, so on and so forth, but the things that what I've equipped myself with outside of those things is exponentially more profound and better. Um, but the reason they get 16 and 17-year-olds and they come to our high schools and recruit people is because I know I can take that mind and do what I want to with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't do that with a 20 and 30-year-old. Go where to shoot who and defend what?
Right.
That's you know what I'm saying? And women in that age wouldn't go for it either. They know that the women of those men wouldn't stand for it. Oh, you're not going any fucking where.
Right.
Children, or even if we don't, you're obligated to me before some country that has disenfranchised us in so many ways. Absolutely,
Right. Right.
have to attack us. So I think that the best thing for us to do, because we've been set so far behind with everything that we've endured, is we have to focus going back to traditional values. And that means that women have to stop focusing on attempting to be successful without men. I don't care how much money a woman makes. I don't care how great her occupation is, how many you're not have a man. We just sat here and watched Lori Harvey, who arguably has millions of dollars, a father that is extremely successful, and she fucked up what would honestly be the only way I could describe it as is a fantasy man. What woman? There's no no black woman, hell, no woman I know that doesn't look at Michael B. Jordan and start drooling. And she screwed that up. Why? Not a wife.
I argue with that. Yeah, Moses, not a wife, but because she doesn't want to be a wife yet, brother. I was talking to Sergi about this before you got on. And Moses, this is what I think happens to a lot, not just in our community, just a lot of women in general, bro. When you are in your early mid-20s and you're attractive and you're having your way with men, a lot of women think, bro, like, it's either never going to end, or when I want it to end, I'll end it and then I'll be able to get whatever man that I want. Michael B. Jordan is 35, Moses. He already done he done did his running around with women. He's probably wants to settle down now and really get married and have a family and start his quote unquote legacy. Well, Lori done been with Future. Lori done been with ball players. She knows she can go get the other A-list actor. She can go get the other A-list rapper. Right. She can go get the other A-list ball player. She's 25, Moses. So while like you said, while 99% of women might drool when they see Michael B. Jordan, she's like, I'm Lori Harvey. I'm having my way. So that's his fault, Moses. That's his fault.
Nah, because first of all, she's only having her way right now because she's in the time period of her life where her major wants haven't shifted yet. See, she's 25 now. By 30, that overwhelming biological clock that hits women and around that age is gonna hit her like all the same. So she's gonna start to want a family. She's gonna start to want a husband. And then men are gonna see what reputation she's created for herself, and it's gonna be infinitely hard for her to achieve that. Nobody's attracted to the thought. Nobody, not for settling down.
I say this all the time. I was telling Sergi earlier, Moses, not to cut you off, bro. They have that epiphany moment, bros. It's like I wake up and it's like, yo, all these men that I've been dealing with over these years, they actually didn't like me. They didn't care about me. They didn't have any serious intentions for me. And you know what? I do feel like I was being used. I don't want to move like that anymore. But like Moses said, men of a certain caliber, the man that was trying to make you the star player on his team, that was trying to make you the MVP, he's either up now and he already has his queen, or he's like playing the field now because he's up. And it's like now those women are left to like really settle with what's left.
Yeah, the high, and let's understand, when we say high value, we simply mean high earning, at least in this regard. She's not going to have access to those very same men 7 years from now.
Facts.
She's not.
It's going to be another 25-year-old.
Like Lil Scotch Bonnet said, I am successful without a man. Sorry, we can't diminish ourselves for your insecurity. Have it your way. Have it your way. What's going to happen is if you are successful, if you are always broken, insecure men trying to tell women what to do. See, this is the type of woman right here in your comment section. This is why I suggest
Moses, let's not go in with that. But I do think that Lori Harvey
this page,
is on a different level.
Now, hold on.
Y'all know what I mean?
I ain't never been the type to worry about being banned from shit. But I'm going to address the topic, and that's
on topic. You got to get Moses a pair of boobs. Every time he go left, boobs.
I don't feel like this is left, though, on the topic. Okay. She's talking about how she feels as though it's broken, insecure men. She's the type of woman that feels like men are threatened by her accomplishments. We're really not. Because your accomplishments. There's nothing about your accomplishments that we're entertained or even impressed by, because at the end of the day, we know your accolades, money, and job are not for us.
Exactly.
Don't assume the role of provider. So she's telling herself this now, and I'm guessing she's around her 20s. She's probably still beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. The young lady, if I'm looking at her right now, let me see. Very pretty woman, and she's telling herself she's happy right now, and that's fine. That's typically what they say. I bet you if she puts her age in there, she's somewhere around her 20s. You know what I'm saying? Or early 30s. But that happiness, like we said, she hasn't hit that major shift yet. She's Lori Harvey right now,
Yeah.
essentially. Sooner or later, she's gonna hit that epiphany phase, like you said, and it's gonna be, oh damn, now I want a man. And then now all of that, I'm strong, independent, I have accolades, and all men are insecure. All that shit's gonna change if she actually wants a man. If she's not, then she's gonna work herself to death. She's literally gonna have a job, and she's gonna work herself, and she's gonna beat her chest for the rest of her life about how successful she is, while also never having a man. She won't be able to procreate unless she becomes a baby mama. And then when you become a baby mama, are you increasing your value as a woman, or are you diminishing it?
And
So we
Moses,
have a family friend.
it's gonna be another 25, bro. A new girl turn 25 every day. A new girl turn 23 every day. So I
But
don't,
she'll
bro,
always be Lori Harvey though, no, but like she'll have options.
Yeah, they'll
Like
be worried about nobody.
she's not going by like
You said
typical
who?
societal rules.
Hold on, Vada. You said who will have options?
Lori Harvey, like she'll have options when she's ready to
She'll
be
have options
chosen.
sexually. Nah, she'll have options sexually. She won't have options when it comes to a relationship. We control access to that. And we know this because we've seen women like Halle Berry, arguably one of the most beautiful women, literally critically acclaimed, one of the most beautiful women on earth at one time. Can't keep a husband. Go find out how happy Halle Berry is right now.
But
She's
she
miserable.
gets married. She gets them.
We have to separate these two. When you say get men, what you mean is that she can get sex from men.
right?
No, they marry her. They don't
No,
stay
No.
married because nobody
Moses,
lives
I always
with
tell
those
them this, Moses.
typical
I
rules.
say this all the time, bro. Like a lot of women get men wanting to sleep with you, and men actually having serious intentions to like date you, or
No, average
possibly go to
women,
dinner.
yes.
You women get that misconstrued so much.
No,
Me and
I
Shirley
don't.
was just talking about that earlier.
I'm speaking on the everyday woman. Yes, women in Hollywood, people that travel in those circles, they play by different rules than us.
They really don't, because biology doesn't change. Halle Berry is not going to get a man that earns as much as she does or more. That's just the earning side. Aside from that, she's going to have her pick of the litter of docile and effeminate type of men. She's not going to find what we traditionally call an alpha male. All right? Not an assertive man. She's not going to find that man because she's already represented herself to be and I'm going to use this term loosely, the alpha female. So she'll get tossed around. She might be even so lucky as to get a man. And 9 times out of 10, men are going to start to play, because men are starting to be more effeminate, they're going to start to play by female rules. So they might marry her simply to inherit her fortune. That's the type of game that men are going to start to play with these women. You know what I'm saying? Nah, Halle Berry, if Halle Berry could do that, she would be married. She can't pull like Kevin Samuels used to say, and I hate to bring him up, but rest in peace, Godfather, for that. She can't pull the men that she's attracted to that she wants. Yeah, you can pull men. There's a difference between having options and having options that you desire.
Right.
She doesn't have the options that she desires. If she did, she would be married to one of them. She would be with one of them. We would be hearing all about how happy she is right now. But we're not. We're not hearing anything about Halle Berry. The only time we hear about Halle Berry is when she's in the next movie to make a cameo. We don't hear about how successful her marriage is. Right? But meanwhile, even though I don't necessarily agree with the whole cross-racial shit of it all, the whole swirling shit of it all, Serena Williams isn't complaining about her marriage.
Sure ain't.
Right. So secure men of all races, by the way, this is so weird. Okay. Listen, Lil Scott, you're not bothering us. Like, okay, you're not bothering me at all.
Right.
If this is what you want, continue to be. You're under the impression that you feel as though you can shame men. We're Teflon to your insults now. You can't shame us into being the men that you want because you call us insecure. By the way, I'm just letting you know it's not gonna change men into the men you want either. By calling us insecure, by asserting that we're trying to be, now you're being, see, I'm just looking at the comments. I'm just looking at your comments. You know what I'm saying? You're like now you not trying to bother you, LOL. See, now here come the passive aggressive LOL. That's funny now because I'm actually saying exactly what type of woman you seem to be. And by the way, I'm not saying that you are that. You could just be trolling. You could be right? But we can tell you the type of person you are, and
No, I'm
find
good.
probably sooner or later stop valuing you for being a wife. Yeah, they might hit. Like I said, you're a beautiful girl right now, and that might last for a while, right? But nobody ever said you're not allowed to comment. You are absolutely allowed to comment. I'm just telling you what we're seeing. That's all. Right? See how the guys are saying, or whoever this. I don't even know if they're saying I'm triggered, or you're triggered, but for me, it would look like you're the person triggered right now. I'm fine. You whether you're attracted to me or not, we're not going to ever meet each other in life, more than likely. And even if we do, I can already tell who you are. I won't be attracted to you. I'm not saying you won't. You will be attracted to me, by the way. But I wouldn't be attracted to you because I can already tell the type of woman you are. You see what I'm saying? Because this is messy. See, now you're starting to sound a little bit upset. See? There it is.
Oh
It's
Lord.
out of women like this. You notice how Vada or Sergi, their disposition hasn't changed at all.
Right.
They're still engaged. They're still soft spoken. They're still feminine. You don't seem to be that type right now.
And this is my thing, Moses. Like, but I never have a problem with like difference of opinion. I think no matter, as long as you've grown, like I think everyone should be able to sit down and agree or disagree. Like you don't have to take anything personal. Like I'm not saying anything personal to Vada or Sergio or anybody in the chat, and you're not either. We just having a conversation. Like people in the comments, you don't got to get so worked up.
No. See, look. See, now she is worked up. Your boo can defend himself. Now you're trying to imply that a man is homosexual because he said he told you that she's triggered because he just mapped out your whole life and she knows it's true. See how mad you are now? Now you're trying to call him homosexual. This is why I told you this is very simple. We can look at women like you and we start to expect type of views, we can tell everything about you. It's so simple. And really, in all actuality, at the end of the day, men are just not attracted to that. That's all. So when you're in here telling us about how successful you are without a man, we're showing you that you're clearly not. You're already upset. And you haven't even, I don't even know how old you are, but you're already upset. You know what I'm saying? That's just straight up. Look, now you got a friend. And, Sammy or whatever her name is, 629 boy thinks he's reading our mind or something. I'm not reading your mind. I'm reading your actions. I'm not reading your mind at all. I don't think I can think what you're thinking. I can tell how you're acting, though. I'm not trying to read your minds. Can we all
get along? Bro, I'm not even Jazz 94. I wasn't even paying attention to the comments. Moses saw some stuff in the comments.
Yeah, I just it was aligned with the topic. That's why I addressed it. You know what I'm saying? Because we were talking about types of women and how we can better be successes in our life. She made an assertion that she was successful without a man. I don't think that I'm a success without my counterpart. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that the scripture said be fruitful and multiply. How can I do that without a woman? So according to that particular, what I would call not necessarily a commandment, because we can't say that it was, because Christ didn't, and that's not a sin, but I can't call myself a success necessarily. Yeah, I mean,
Jess, do you want to Jesseline 101? Do you want to come up here, Jesseline? Because you've been on my platform before and you know we've talked before. So I don't know if it's because Moses is in here and you're just disagreeing with what he's saying a lot. But if you want to come up here and speak to something that you heard him say, I'll let you come up here. You don't have to keep talking about it in the comments.
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to it. It's not a hostile environment.
Nobody's even complaining about women. Y'all just get triggered and y'all don't even like men speaking on certain stuff. And it's
what you're upset about is the fact that men are not attracted to what women are attracted to. So when I said, you're not a success without men, I meant that because men are not attracted to the same things. So all the accomplishments and masculine accolades you have, you said that you probably have your own job, you might be doing well, and congratulations, bravo to you. You know what I'm saying? I hope you can keep that same energy throughout life. You know what I'm saying? I honestly and seriously do. I hope you can keep that same energy throughout life. It's easy to say people disagreeing with you are triggered, buzzword. I mean,
okay, hold on, Moses. So if you weren't triggered, then why can't you just respectfully say that you disagree? Why are you like attacking people and calling people out of their name and talking about their sexuality then? And that's the thing. You're not
Oh,
getting me out of place. You're not getting Moses out of place. Not
oh,
because he's acknowledging it doesn't mean you're getting anybody out of the feelings.
yeah. Sammy, you said I don't know why he's saying we're triggered, because you implied that a man was homosexual for essentially stating that he felt as though I'm mapping out your life. If you weren't
And
triggered,
Moses, most of these people are bots, yo. They're
people
bots.
people that aren't triggered don't resort to insult.
Right.
Oh, and I'm quite sure that you didn't think that he took that comment as a compliment. That's why. I'm not talking about you, Sammy. I'm talking about your friend that you're siding with right now. That's what I'm
Hey,
talking about.
hey, Vada, please say your last words. There's a woman that wants to come up here.
Sure.
Just tell her to drop down in the comments real quick. She can come right back up. You know, I don't anticipate this interaction lasting long anyway. Vada has Sergi have so much more to add to the conversation, so I don't. So nah, just come up real quick. Just drop down in the comments.
Okay, Vada, drop someone. Someone wants to come in, please. All right.